Just got a couple of comments. One is, I'm gonna stand up because I'm short. Sorry, I have my back.
No problem.
On that recreation report, there are some good things in it, but quite frankly, I think that the consultant that did it really didn't know where Harwood was. And they said there should be a lot of advisory committees for Baltimore, there should be advisory committees. This never mentioned Harwood, even though we do have an advisory committee and have been in place for the Friends of the Harwood Waterfront now for more than 15 years. And never mentioned. And hardly ever mentioned the public property that Hamilton Township owns in Harwood. Three locations right on the water. But that's just an aside from what was brought up here. But what I'd like to say about the budget is this, is that when I saw that there were 78, let me see, there's 78 reserve accounts,
96,
and 41, you're going to try to put them into 41.
about 50.
I asked a couple of council members a few months ago when I heard that there was reserve funds going into like hundreds of thousands of dollars from reserve funds. I said, well, how much is in the reserve fund? I said, we have no idea.
$6.9 million.
How many?
$6.9 million.
Okay, well, it would be
That
nice
includes-
to have this.
That includes
It would be
development
nice to have
charges.
this in the budget, that how much is in the reserve funds,
Okay.
and what you expect the emergencies might be that would be coming up, because it seems as if the, usually reserves are used for emergencies. And it can be, but it seemed like they were being used for items that should have been in the budget in the first place. But you just took the stuff out of the reserve. So I think that there was some missing information on that. But now
Okay.
specifically,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'd like to just ask about this council grants, which is the latter part of the budget here. And as I think of Harwood as council grants, that's when money is actually given from the township to an organization. Is that right? That's a grant.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there was $5,000 for the Harwood Waterfront,
Yes.
and I don't know who that was given to. Who was it given to?
It wasn't, I believe that was the point when the work started, that when the invoices were paid for that work, then it would come out of that
So
fund.
do the grants have to come, the money just, that's allotted that way, and then, okay, this just get paid for through somewhere else? I mean, is the Harwood Hall getting $5,000, and so you just pay some of the things for the Harwood Hall, you just pay some of the things to the Gorse Landing, or do you actually transfer the money to Gorse Landing? Do you actually transfer the money to the Harwood Hall?
So I can clarify, we would pay for, in the Harwood Hall, for example, they came with a proposal to make some improvements to the roof. And we would pay upon receipts showing that those expenditures actually occurred, and making progress on that project as an example.
Okay, so
In
you
the
don't
Harwood-
actually transfer the money?
Well, again, and it might vary. I think there was one or so on there where there's an actual group where money was transferred, but I'd have to see, well, I can look at the actual list.
So
Community-
if the
but-
money is not spent,
It would not be
does it go over
transferred.
to the following year? If the money is not spent in 2016, does the money transferred to 17?
I'll have to check what the past practice is. In all honesty, I don't know, because, as I said, this is my first year here, so I can definitely check into
Well, I need to
that.
know that. So $5,000 was put forth for a grant for the Harwood Waterfront.
Right.
My opinion is that this should not be a grant. This is a public property of Hamilton Township, and it should be listed as a line item is the Harwood Public Dock. And these are the expenses for the Harwood Public Dock. We've had, it's really fantastic. We've had a great meeting with Trevor Claverton, and things are moving for the first time in a long, long time. So out of those $5,000 for 2016, it was to spend the money on a new toilet, and design and location. And to my knowledge, not very much money has been spent. And we're down to now 30 days before the end of the year. And we want to be sure that that money of $5,000 is transferred to 17. But this whole thing, it needs to be, this should not be a grant. It should not be a grant. This is public property of Hamilton Township. This needs to be a line item, Hamilton Township Park in Harwood. Call it what you want, but it should not be under the grant situation. It should be capital expenditures, the maintenance, whatever it is that you are planning to do there. The Friends of the Harwood Waterfront have raised tremendous amounts of money. We have spent public money, community money, on public property. And we've come here year after year after year, and then I hear from a transcript that I heard of one of the meetings that the mayor said, well, what do they want? Listen, we have been here for years and years and years to say this is what we want, and to hear the mayor say, oh, we don't know what they want. I mean, this is terrible. So I'm giving you a list of what we want. So in 2017, we want the money transferred over from 16 that's already there that hasn't been spent. And for 17, we want the lighting of the waterfront on the pavilion, the 4 signs lighted. I mean, we've been here, there's been some members of the council, former members here, that know that we were here like 5 years ago talking about these lights. We want some benches, simple things, some benches so people can sit on some benches at the dock. Not a big item. They could have been purchased this past year. The beach needs to be restored. And finally, the surveying has been done once again because the township couldn't find the survey that was done before. So the surveying had to be done again. I don't know what expense that was. But fortunately, we now have the surveying done because people that own private property were taking over some of the public property. It was quite amazing. And so we've got that done. We need some landscaping done. We need a new sign at the village to say where the dock is. And in particular, and this would relate to the roads part, is the grading that we have been discussing with the staff here. Grading of the dock area, because right now when the rain comes down, Railway Road goes down onto in front of the entrance there, all washes onto the beach. The beach gets eroded, and so that all needs to be regraded. And so there's some work to be done there. It probably should have been in the budget 5 years ago. But you know what? We're not very happy about this. In fact, we're very unhappy about what's been going on. And so here we go. We've got 2018 on her too. So.
Now, Pauline, you're also coming to committee of the whole on the.
Bruce is coming.
13th?